right, checking in with my weather weenies this weekend. Today is Saturday, July 27th, and this weather weenie says, hey, the sunset looked very hazy tonight. Do you know why? Are there wildfires somewhere? Thanks. Yes, it's exactly what's going on. If it looks like you're on Tatooine, if you happen to be a fan of Star Wars, the sun has that sort of orangey glow, or these blue sky days are just not blue sky days. Wildfires are often the cause, and there's a lot of them. They're not near us. The problem is they're really far away. They mix through the atmosphere, but out west, there are a ton of wildfires right now. Fire.airnow.gov is a great resource for wildfire locations, and the West is just on fire. Fires in California and Oregon are making the most news right now. We can see that wildfire smoke is affecting a lot of the country, including us here in New England. How? Why? Because of the jet stream and large-scale dynamics. So at pivotalweather.com, my favorite weather resource, you can actually, if you're looking at the HRRR, they have two smoke variables that you can take a look at. So here's the source, of all those fires way out west. And if we play through the 48-hour forecast, you can see exactly what's happening. So the smoke comes off these fires, it rises, it goes to the higher part of the atmosphere. We have high pressure over us right now with that air coming from the north, and so you can exactly see why this wildfire smoke is rotating clockwise and is coming down over New England. Now this forecast does seem to indicate it's going to get a little bit worse before it gets better, but we are going to end up having a low pressure that we're going to talk about next that's coming into the Gulf of Maine that we hadn't talked about last week that's worthy of talk this week. So looking at the Gray Maine forecast discussion, high pressure brings drier air along with warm temperatures this weekend and smoke. Areas of smoke aloft may dim the sun at times. Yeah, it totally does. Low pressure may approach the Gulf of Maine early next week with unsettled weather moving into the region midweek. Temperatures remain warm through the period with increasing humidity next week. And they're not kidding. This little chart shows a whole bunch of cities in Maine and New Hampshire, and this is just the trend, like Saturday, Sunday, Monday. This goes all the way through Friday and Saturday. See how our temperatures are going to be climbing into the 90s in a lot of places, and our dew points are increasing back into the 70s. The end of next week is not going to be pleasant. Good news is this Gulf of Maine low is going to give us not exactly relief, but where we were expecting to get this a lot earlier, it's going to give it a little bit of break. So rather than having like a week-long stretch, dogs got the zoomies, of this type of weather, it'll only be the end of next week. All right, so here we go with the lay of the land right now. This nice high pressure that's making our weekend absolutely amazing. But this little low here is going to be coming up from the south, impacting somewhere around the Gulf of Maine, out on the Cape, places like that. Not too potent, not strong. It's not a hurricane or anything like that either. Nothing like that we have to worry about. But it does finally clear out of here on Monday, and then that's when the temperature and humidity is going to start to increase. And like I've said, even though it's going to be hot and humid, don't expect it to necessarily be dry. With that heat and humidity, it's kind of a good recipe for afternoon thunderstorms. Way too early to talk about the middle and end of next week's frequency, severity, all that kind of stuff for any thunderstorms that we would get. Just know that that risk is there. So enjoy the weekend weather. It's not really until Sunday evening that this rain and this little low moves in to southern parts of New England, which is nice. Give you guys a little bit of rain just in case you're needing it. Then after this weekend next week, it says for that extended period, the start of it is quiet, but it does turn unsettled for much of next week, which once again, when you have all that heat and humidity, it's just like you can't help it. Although no all-day rain is expected, chances of showers do increase as the week progresses. Still a lot of uncertainty around this low. When exactly is it going to come in? How far inland is it going to go? What's the cloud cover going to do to like our temperatures and stuff? So a little bit of variability there, but it is a little bit of a break for what would have been in the forecast a very long week. And the reason it's going to be stormy near the half of the week, we've got that subtropical jet that moves back over us, which is basically like that bowling alley for low pressure systems. Warm front's going to push over the area Wednesday through Friday, and that gives warm, muggy air, chances of showers. It's just that very typical summer pattern that we've seen so far this summer. So we'll look into more of the details a little bit later as things progress, but that's what we've got right now. So stay tuned.